and welcome to week 4 assignment for the Connect activity, which follows the to-do activity. We have trained Chris, my son, who's going to help me this week with our assignment, on the register, showing him how to ring in bagel with cream cheese, egg sandwiches, and now we're going to connect over his previous experiences and jobs and how he can connect his learning from here to the things that he already knows. So Chris, you're doing a wonderful job in training, and we have shown you how to do the bagels and cream cheese, the egg sandwiches, and some modifiers. Do you feel pretty comfortable with the modification buttons and how to utilize those?
I just have a couple questions.
Okay.
One of them being, say they try a modification that we don't currently have on the POS system.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do in that circumstance?
Okay, great question. So when you have a customer ordering things, because there are a million ways to do things, and you cannot find a button or it doesn't exist on the POS system, there is a See Me button which we can go over and look at it, and I can show it to you where it is, where you can find that button. You press that, and then the sandwich person will either ask you what the See Me is. However, we believe that you should tell the sandwich person before they have to ask. That way they already kind of have it in their head what it is. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Like at Starbucks, where I worked prior, we had a lot of situations where, sometimes we didn't have, the button on there for whatever kind of drink they wanted. So we had to
like a half a Splenda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to do a lot of ad-lib.
Right.
Sort of on the spot, you had to tell the drink maker what they needed to make for it.
Okay. So you're doing a wonderful job, and are there things that you don't feel so comfortable with, or are there things that you guys, for instance, your previous job at Starbucks, weren't able to do, like recall orders or anything? Is there anything that you have a question about with?
Since we only had the one terminal, the one POS terminal to work with, which we did both the register and the order taking, and you have two separate terminals. If, say, for instance, I complete an order at one end, and they, maybe they changed their mind, or I made a mistake, am I able to change that on my end, or is that purely for the other register to handle?
Okay, so you could make, like, say they want to add something, you can certainly recall that order at the top where it gives you all the names on the register.
Okay.
You can highlight that name, and then that will bring back that order for that customer, and then you can add different things. What you're unable to do is delete items, so you would need a manager to do that.
Okay.
But that's easily done, or you could just send it down to the register and let them know that there needs to be some changes made. They can make also the changes at the register. So either station can make changes. They can make the add-ons and the deletes.
Okay. All right. And then, I'm having some concerns about my ability right now with the sandwiches. We didn't do a whole lot of work with sandwiches. We just had mainly like the heat-up sandwiches, or the sandwiches that they just grabbed out of the cases. So there's a lot of like menus and sub-menus that you have to go through. Is there a quick way to learn all like the locations of where that is?
So a quick way, there's not necessarily a quick way, but the best way, I think, would be if you have a menu, because the menu will actually list the different sandwiches under their subcategories. So lunch sandwiches, there will be signature sandwiches, and those are listed under the signature sandwiches, and that way you can correlate that to that sub-menu in the larger lunch menu.
Okay.
Okay. The same thing with like panini sandwiches. There will be a panini menu, and all the panini sandwiches will be located in that sub-menu, so to speak. Okay. So my suggestion is that you take a menu, and then your next shift, you take 15 minutes and do like a precursor to your shift, and you learn again and connect that visually with the menu and the POS, so you can see how that connects together and where they are located, and it gives you an easier way to memorize and find those buttons. The other thing is really practice is in 3 days you won't even ask anymore, because you'll have put in so many sandwiches that you'll remember where those are located. So when it comes to the displays and how they connect what you're putting in and how that connects with the sandwich person, do you have any questions on that? Does that make sense to you, how that is?
So it's just whatever I put in, and whenever is it when I send it to the register terminal, is that when it goes up onto like the sandwich bar screen?
No, actually, great question. I mean, I know at Starbucks you guys wrote on the cups, and well, some places I know had the stickers for the cups, but for us, when we press that button, that actually shows up on that monitor in the kitchen for that sandwich person to make. So which is a great question, because let's say toasting, the sandwich people try to work a little bit ahead when it comes to the bagels, and so the sooner you can ask if the bagel is toasted or the bread is toasted, the better, because that will help expedite that process for that sandwich person, because while they're waiting for you to enter everything else in, that bagel can toast. So that kind of eliminates some time and is more efficient for you. So for the next training, we'll again do the menu, and then you can work with the POS a little bit more, and of course we'll have a trainer with you to shadow you. They won't be quite as attentive as they were this time. So this concludes our Connect activity. Chris has done a great job with connecting his learning to his previous job to try and figure out how to navigate the POS and how things work here to learn his new position. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and see you in week 5. Bye!